Hello and welcome to this latest edition of Technicians Update. During the next half an hour or so, we'll take a look at our usual mixed bag of technical bulletins and service fixes. First though, here's Andy with a look at the new Mini Cabriolet.
So here it is, the Mini Cabriolet, the latest and perhaps the most impressive model in a long line of limited edition Minis produced by Rover. In very basic terms, it's simply a Mini that's had its roof replaced with this retractable hood, but of course it's much more than that. Mechanically, it's much the same as any other Mini, although as you'd expect, the body has been significantly modified. Starting at the front, it features enlarged front wheel arches necessary to clear those huge 165/60 tyres. Then further back, you'll see the lower part of the A-post has been reinforced with pressed steel box sections that also provide a convenient location for the front speakers. And each of the upper A-posts are reinforced with a stiffener tube that runs from the base of the A-post through to the top. And at the top here is a completely new double-skinned windscreen header that's designed both to tie the two A-posts together and provide a location for the hood when it's up. If we move on to the doors, they're unique to the Cabriolet. They're based on saloon versions that have had the window frame removed from here up to here, and then had a new front section bonded to the remaining part of the window section and then welded along to the door here. Again, on the inside, we can see that the sills have been significantly reinforced by the addition of this box section, which is tied into the heel board at the back here, which has been effectively doubled up by the addition of another box section. This is designed to give the body a great deal of torsional rigidity, which will basically help it stop it twisting. Now the B post has been significantly reinforced and is, like the A post, also tied into this sill reinforcement. Now they're also, via this beam and the window regulator plates, tied into both the rear seat bulkhead and the underside of the rear parcel shelf. And just here is where the hood frame mounts. Moving on, the rear quarter panels and the rear panel are, like the doors, reworked saloon versions, obviously unique to the Cabriolet. Then at the rear here, the rear parcel shelf is a heavier version than that used on the saloon, which houses in the middle here two inertia reel seat belts. Now if you look inside the boot, you'll see that the new seat belts are supported by an additional box section which welds to the underside of the parcel shelf and the back seat bulkhead. And it's important to remember on the Cabriolet that the rear seat is designed to cater for two people only. Now just before we move on and take a look at the hood assembly on the car, just a quick mention of body repairs. The external panels we've just seen, so that's the windscreen header, the doors, the rear quarter panels and the rear panel, can all be replaced. For detailed descriptions of how to carry out those operations and for instructions on all other body repairs, refer to the mini section of the body repair manual, part number SMD 1540 volume 2. Now there's one other important point to remember when carrying out repairs to the body. Always take extra care to make sure you seal all new panels and joints properly and replace any water shedders. That way, any water getting into the body will be correctly directed out of its drain holes rather than being allowed into the car's interior. Now let's take a look at the hood assembly on the car. Unlike the multi-layer assemblies you'd have seen on the 200 Cabriolet, the Mini uses a more simple single-layer design that incorporates a non-removable sewn-in backlight. The cover itself is bonded over a cleverly designed steel frame that, as we've already seen, locates and pivots around this point here just forward of the parcel shelf. A steel rear retainer rail is bonded into the cover and is secured to the parcel shelf via 6 8mm bolts, and they're accessible once the rear parcel shelf trim is lifted. Further forward, the hood cover is bonded to the D-post brackets, and then right at the front, it's bonded to the header rail. The header rail itself provides a location for the header seal, the hood handle, and the two hood catches that secure the front of the hood to the windscreen header. The header itself is secured to the steel frame via 4 Allen bolts to each side. And to keep the hood cover taut in the up position, you'll find a spring tension cant rail cable runs along the length of the cant rail. There are a number of rubber seals located around the hood designed to combat water ingress. We've already mentioned the header seal, the one that seals the front of the hood to the body. Then there are 6 further seals located along the top of the door glass and along the top and down the rear edge of the rear quarter light. Further seals can be found around the rear quarter light, at the top at the front here, at the base of the B post here, and along the body line. Now, before we open the hood, let's just have a quick look inside. Again, starting at the rear, the hood frame features 3 spars that span from one side of the frame to the other. The hood cover itself is bonded to each of these spars via flaps of material that hang from the cover and neatly fold round each of the spars. On each side of the hood cover you'll find a wide elastic strap that's pop riveted both at the header and the second 2 spars, and they're designed to hold the hood cover in its correct position each time the hood's raised and lowered. Before we lower the hood, what you'll need to do is lower the windows, that's both the rears and the fronts, by at least 2 turns of their handle to ensure the windows clear the hood frame while it's being raised or lowered. So if I do that now, it's a bit awkward to lean in to get to the back windows. If we clear those, lean across to get to the front. Right. Lower the sun visors and release the hood catches, which must be left in the open position to prevent damage to the cover when the hood's lowered. Check the hood frames clear of any obstruction, and then from outside the car, simply lift the hood down. It will automatically fold down and sit neatly in its correct position, but each time the hood is opened, you should make sure that the backlight has folded without creasing. Once it's in that position, fit the specially padded hood cover that you'll find normally stored in its own bag in its boot. Now, there are a number of important do's and don'ts that you should be aware of regarding the hood assembly. Firstly, you should never open or close the hood while the vehicle's moving, and never drive the car with one of the hood catches open or with the hood in the partially open or closed position. You should never drive the car with the hood down without the padded cover fitted, and before you open and close the hood, you should always make sure that any obstructions are clear of the hood frame, including your passengers, before the frame's raised or lowered. And you should never attempt to raise or lower the hood unless you're sure you have a ceiling height of at least 2.1 metres. Don't let your passengers sit on the hood frame, and never leave the hood frame in the open position for periods of longer than 2 weeks at a time. Never open or close the hood if the ambient temperature is less than 0 degrees centigrade, and never wash the car in an automatic car wash or with a high pressure water jet. And finally, you should never fit any stickers to the flexible backlight, which should be cleaned regularly using plenty of water. Incidentally, a mild soap solution can be used to clean the rest of the hood. Now, we've already spoken about body repairs, but what about repairs to the hood? Well, most hood components can, if necessary, be replaced individually, although some will arrive partially assembled, such as the hood cover, which will come with the rear retainer rail already bonded in, and the hood frame that will come complete with the elastic straps already fitted. Now, in general terms, repairs to the hood are really quite simple, although to ensure the correct fit and weather sealing, these operations must be carried out with care and precision.